Welcome to you all. I am JNG. This is our channel JN Social. Today we are going to discuss about superpower race. What we consider superpower first. The small Himalayan country Bhutan give first priority to the happiness of its citizen. So, in their development perspective, they have included happiness as the one of the primary criteria. So, does a superpower country need to have every citizen to be happy? Or a technology well developed Israel is called superpower? Or China, which indirectly give aid to the poor countries, particularly African and Asian countries, and influence in their politics and economy. Suppose a country has such a nature is called superpower, or US, which dominate the world and influence world organizations, then the country which has the influential power is called superpower. Otherwise, US and Russia, which have more number of atomic bomb. Suppose a country hold more number of atomic bomb, can we call it as a superpower? So, superpower in general term means a country has the influential power in the world arena and has the leading decision making power in international politics. In 2020, world population is about 7.8 billion, where Chinese population is 1.44 billion and India's population is about 1.38 billion. So the combination of Chinese and Indian population together come around 33% of world population. So suppose a country have more human resources is called a superpower. But actually, before we go into see the solution, let me first understand historically what perspective a country is followed at the beginning days to be a superpower and how the transformation take place over a period. In general, we all know that in the earth there are north and south pole, but additionally there is a third pole which is in the mid of Himalayan, Hindu Kush, Karakoram and the Tibetan Plateau region, where the Tibetan Plateau is about 14,800 feet height from sea level. The world deadliest battle point, the Ladakh region, which is about 19,000 feet height from the sea level. When the height increases, these points are act as a source of glaciers, and these are the main source for the perennial river. These ice rocks, when they break down, on the way it eroded most of the silt and it will settle in nearby riverbeds where the sand is more fertilized. The riverbed region are very suitable for cultivation and the productivity of the sand is very much high. So most of the people settle nearby the riverbeds and started to do cultivation. So over a period when the more people are involved in cultivation, then the economy developed directly to the people involved in the cultivation. Then later on, people need other facilities also. Then the small industries emerge up. Then the whole area developed as cities. Similar way, the Indus civilizations and Chinese civilization form. The glaciers, which are the source for Indus, Ganga, Yamuna and Brahmaputra river. So about 20% of world population live around the third pole. So more water sources available, the population density increased over a period in India and China. Then climatic condition also very suitable for the productivity. And also India received different races from different regions and they coexist together peacefully, and the rest of the world nomadic. The Indian civilization have universities like Dakshila and Nalanda, where they have conducted entrance exam too, where Buddhism, Jainism and philosophy, astronomy, then culture, there are more subjects, similar kind were taught. Charaka, the father of Indian medicine, who compiled Ayurveda. Ayurveda is one of the oldest medicine system in the world. Bhaskaracharya, who had calculated the time taken by the earth to orbit the sun. Then Abhagas trigonometry are well developed in India. When the world using 10 power 6 digit as the maximum in mathematics, India used 10 power 53 digit numbers. Meanwhile, India had a trade with Rome, Greek and other Arabian countries. India already have the most precious materials like diamond, gold, silver. India is a cradle of human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the great grandmother of tradition. The most valuable and most instructive material in the human history only available in India, told by the father of American literature, Mark Twain. From his quote, how much India was wealthy in the past. It induces eagerness for other country to invade India and colonize later. India was the greatest superpower about 1500 years. Then later on, the European start to look at a new world for raw material. They occupied important choke points, particularly Panama Canal in East Pacific and West Atlantic, Suez Canal between the Mediterranean Sea and Arabian Sea, then again the Malacca Strait between the Andaman Sea and South China Sea. These are the important points where trade flourished. So those who are controlling those points we consider as a very influential countries. In the 16th century, Portuguese dominated those choke points, so they controlled the sea trade. Then again in 17th to 18th century, the Dutch dominated, then followed by 19th century, the British dominated the choke points. Meanwhile, in China, because of the great emperor, the invention of paper and paper followed by paper money and magnetic compass followed by the economical development, so much of poverty has been reduced, and China had also built a Great China Wall which stopped the invasion from Europe. So China became a superpower between 1500 to 1800. Then after the invention of steam engine, industrialization has developed in Europe. Then European countries, particularly German and Asian country, Japan, those became very influential in the world politics. Before industrialization, the development of a country is directly related to the number of population. But because of industrialization, the manual power reduced, the mechanized production increased. So the European countries started to looking for the raw material. So they started to colonize more Asian countries and African countries, try to bring back the raw material to their country and sold those final finished product in those colonized countries. They put many restrictions for the local industrial development, enforced more taxes. So gradually the colonized countries' economy eroded over a period. When the British came to India, India has contributed about 23% of world GDP. But when they leave from the country in 1947, the India contribution to the world GDP is just 1%. Because of the friction in the colonization period, the 1914 to 1918 First World War, those who were victorious in the First World War put more restriction, particularly the defeated country. Germany was heavily affected, and this also induces pressure on Germany to fight another war in the Second World War, 1939 to 1945. Even though Germany was defeated in the Second World War, the other European countries, particularly UK, was heavily affected. In 1776, the US became independent. From that day onwards, it didn't directly involve any big war. So their economy flourished over a period. And when the Second World War came to an end, after US throwing two atom bombs, the little boy and the fat man, on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, cities of Japan, then the initiation from the victorious countries from United Nations to stop such a war in the future and also maintain international peace, international human rights and international security. Then followed by Cold War started between the Russia and the US. The world is divided into two blocks. Though India didn't follow any of the bloc, and like-minded countries formed the NORM. NORM countries member acted as a peacekeeper between the US bloc and Russian bloc. Again, the Soviet Union fell down. So the US became an unofficial superpower in the recent time. That is the main reason the friction between US and Russia. Now the China try to get back their old glory, try to rebuild their Silk Road through Belt and Road Initiative project that need investment about 4 trillion to 8 trillion. And also World Economic Forum suggested that China will become a superpower in the near future 2024. And also China is influencing very dominant in the world through the influence of its army in South China Sea or any port development in Africa or Asian countries around India, and its investment and economic policy with the African countries. Now the responsibility taken by the US now reducing because it leave from the world organization like WHO, UNESCO, United Nations Human Rights Commission, then Paris Agreement 2015. But as a country to become a superpower, its primary priority should be maintain world peace, solution for terrorism, refugee crisis, followed by poverty and pandemic diseases like COVID-19. India aspiring to become a superpower. The reason is that India has the youngest population, about 65% of people living under 35 years of age in India. India also called as a world pharmacy. About 60% of medicine to the world, including vaccine developed in India. India also have the hope of Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. That means the whole world is considering as a one family. A country to become a superpower, they must concentrate on sustainable development, eradication of poverty, and providing enough employment opportunities to its populations, and maintaining world peace. Solutions for the Middle East problem like conflict between the Israel and Palestine, or in South China Sea issue with China and Southeast Asian countries. So whichever completing the task first will be considered as a superpower. India has the possibility because Gupta, Maurya, Chola and Vijayanagara Emperor, they have shown the sea to be to emerge as a superpower. US is the first largest economy with $21 trillion, followed by China $14 trillion, then Japan $5 trillion, then Germany $4 trillion. India's economy value is about $3 trillion. So India is aiming to be a third largest economy in the near future. So India to be a superpower, every Indian has to take one step forward. The whole country will take one step ahead. We people altogether only called India. So our productivity and our aspirations need to satisfy the country's expectation. Then only our country will move as a superpower. If you didn't subscribe our channel, please subscribe our channel. Please give your suggestions and opinion through comment. And if you think the discussion is useful, then you can share to your friend and family. Thank you for watching this video. We shall meet again in another video very soon. Until then, take care. Love you all. Bye bye.